Hello, my name is Karen Costa and I'm a full-time faculty member at Jones International University. This brief video will explain some important tasks that you have to take care of in weeks 4 through 8 of your course. So hang in with me and I'll show you how to take care of this important business. First, we want to request midterm feedback from our students. That way, if there's anything that we can do to improve our teaching or improve our communication with students, we know at week 4 when we can still do something about it, right? So there are a couple of ways to get into Messenger. You can go through this icon here, or you can select JIU Messenger from the Communications tool. Just a tip, those two options are best if you want to send a message just to one or two people. The easiest way to send a large message is through Class List. So you'll select Class List and then click this box here to select all of the students in your course and then click Message. This will include all of your students in the message. And you want to post an encouraging an encouraging message here asking for midterm feedback. When students reply, it's important to note that their reply will come only to you, not to all other students. And this is, again, a way that you can sort of course correct. And if there's anything you need to do on your end to help a student succeed, this is a great way to find out about it. I often will ask students specifically, how do you like my announcements or news items in this case, or are the video tutorials I've been posting helpful? So I can get some useful feedback for my teaching. So that is part 1. That's the first thing you want to do, and that's, again, in week 4. Another thing I'll mention is that in weeks 5 through 7, you may have students who begin to request incompletes, and you can access information on that, if you'll bear with me here, from the faculty handbook. So I'm going to go to my main D2L homepage and I'm going to point out to you the faculty handbook is here. So if a student requests an incomplete, that would be initiated through the incomplete process, and you can access that information in the faculty handbook. In week 7, we want to send out a news item and an email to let students know about the last day to audit or the last day to request that incomplete. So let's go back now into our course, and I'll just remind you how to post a news item. So under Communication, select News, and you've seen this in other tutorials, so this is just meant to be a reminder. Click on New Item, and you can enter your news item right here. Remember that you have the option through Insert Stuff to add an audio or video note, and then click Publish. So again, in week 7, you are reminding students about the last day to audit or to request an incomplete. After we post that as a news item, we want to also now send that out as an email. And remember, you can do that by going into Communication and then Class List. Just as we did before, you'll select all the students and then select Email to send out an email reminding students of the last day to request an audit or an incomplete. Remember that your students are going to populate the BCC, so that you need to send this to yourself. Remember that the subject line will default to the course, so you might want to add incomplete here. You'll enter a message, and then if you have any attachments, you can add those here and click Send, which is right here at the top. So again, in week 7, we are posting a news item and sending an email about the last day to request an audit or an incomplete. In week 8, we used to do this in the Just Forum. Now we're going to do it again through a news item and an email. In week 8, you should remind your students and encourage them to complete the end of course survey. And I want to show you where that survey is. So if we go into the content of the course, you'll see all the way down here at the bottom is the survey option. And there is the student end of course survey. So we want to post a news item letting students know where they can find this course survey. And we also want to send that out in an email. In addition, that news item and email should let students know when they can expect to receive their final grades. And if you'll recall, that date stands. By the Thursday after the course end date, preferably sooner, you will have posted your end of course grades. So remember, in week 8, post a news item and send an email directing students to the end of course student survey and reminding them of final grade post date. Any questions, please contact your faculty team lead. And this concludes the tutorial on weeks 4 through 8 of your course. Thank you.